everyone. In this video, we're going to talk about the independent listening task that is the fourth task of the listening and speaking exam of IC3. We're going to look at the different parts of the exam and how to answer the questions correctly. So let's have a look at this. As you see here in the whiteboard, the listening task, the independent listening task, lasts 8 minutes and you will hear the audio twice. The first time you hear the audio, you only have to say what the audio is about in 1 or 2 lines. So just explain what the main topic of the audio is. After you listen to the audio once and answer what the audio is about, you are going to listen to the audio a second time. Before you listen to the audio this second time, the examiner is going to give you a piece of white paper and a pencil, and they're going to say that you can write some notes if you want to. So it's a good idea to write notes, and they're also going to ask you a question. The kind of question they might ask you is to talk about the advantages and disadvantages, so you can take notes writing advantages, disadvantages, and writing the example the speaker gives of advantages and disadvantages. For example, if the audio is about smart homes, you can talk about the advantages and the disadvantages of owning a smartphone. They could also ask you to talk about the opinions of the speaker. So maybe they ask you about the advantages and disadvantages and what the opinion of the speaker is at the end, and also the reasons the speaker gives. Or they could also ask you only to talk about the advantages, or only to talk about the disadvantages, or only to talk about examples. But to take notes, think, what is the examiner asking me to talk about? Okay, so a way of paraphrasing the audio, the first time you hear it, is saying the speaker talks about, or the speaker explains how, or the speaker afterwards you can say he, she mentions, or if it's a critical audio, you could say the speaker criticizes something. So in the second time, you have to explain the question that they ask you, and you only have 1 minute to speak. So you don't want to repeat the general idea, you just want to go into the point. So for example, the speaker mentions some advantages such as, and then from your list, you can say the different advantages the speaker explains, and then you could explain the different disadvantages the speaker explains, and then in conclusion the speaker thinks that there are more advantages or disadvantages, or although there are many disadvantages, the advantages are outweigh the disadvantages, or are more important than the disadvantages. So what should you do to practice for this part of the exam? Basically, the audio is a monologue, so you could listen to monologues, to speeches about a topic given by one person, and you could practice with any kind of audio taking notes, so writing the things that the speaker is talking about. Listen to audios about different subjects, different topics, nature, animals, facts, anything like that, and listen and practice writing while you listen, and then practice speaking and giving different points in 1 minute. So a good idea is to use the timer on your phone, set it to 1 minute, and then speak for 1 minute about different points of a subject. So that's it for the listening exam, and that's the end of the speaking and listening exam of IC3. I hope this was helpful and you have a better idea of how to do the speaking and listening exam. I'll see you in another video. Goodbye.